What's going on, my squatchies? If you watched my last video, I got a real treat for you today. In the last one, I set up the North Face WAWONA 6. Really nice, but really expensive tent. And that video did really well, and I love the tent. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different this time. I went on Amazon, and I bought the cheapest tent that wasn't for kids, and the smallest. And I'm gonna set it up side by side with the WAWONA 6 and see how it holds up. I'm even gonna sleep in the little tent while I have the big nice tent set up right beside it. First, I'm gonna go boil some water for some coffee. You can come join me for that, and then we'll get to setting up the tents. Ow! Headed to the creek to get some water. It's a good little hike to get there, unless y'all missed most of it, but I brought you back because I can hear the creek now. It's also kind of flooded over. I might not even be able to drink this water. Might be too muddy. We're almost there. Check it out. I brought one bottle of water, one little bottle of water. That's all I have, so it's gotta last me tonight and tomorrow. I'd rather not use it for coffee tonight. We had a really big storm last night. And this creek, this is a little creek. It is raging. But we got a nice little spot right here. I'm gonna get some water. Get the bugs away from it. That'll be good. I'll come back to you at the fire and make our coffee. Alright, squatchies. Got my water from the creek. The creek's almost a river now. Had to wade through water just to get to the creek. And about went over my boots. Gonna let this water boil. This is a clean creek, but the way it's been storming the past couple of days, that water's probably pretty dirty. I always bring some non-dairy creamer you don't have to keep cold, a little pack of instant coffee, and some liquid Splenda. Just put a little squirt in there. Just wait for this water to boil, and we'll come back and have some coffee. She's been boiling for a minute now. I think she's about ready. All right. Go ahead and put my coffee in the cup. If it looks like I'm putting trash on the ground, I'm not. I've got a little bag here on the table. Oh yeah, she's boiling good now. Turn her on. Want her to overflow. Good. I prefer not to drink black coffee unless I have really good coffee. But and this is real easy. Need a spoon. Ooh, that's hot. Alright, I'm gonna sit here and drink my coffee, and then we'll set up those tents. I'll go ahead and set up the WAWONA 6 off camera, as y'all saw that in the last video. If you didn't, go back and watch that video. It's very easy to set up for such a big tent. And then I'll bring you back while I set up the little tent right beside it. Alright, squatchies. We got the North Face tent set up right there. As you can see, it's enormous. And now we're gonna come right over here. We're gonna set up the new tent. As you can see, I hadn't even opened it yet. So I have no idea what I'm getting into. I just know it was little and cheap. You can see it's a FORCEATT tent. I'll link to it on Amazon if you want to know more about it. That's not too bad. It just looks really small next to this one, but it's even got the same kind of little holes for the holes to go through. Huh. And it feels like it's almost as thick as the North Face tent. The material. Much smaller poles. These are your more traditional tent poles that are really thin. Feels like fiberglass. But at least they do have the little peg to go in the hole instead of just being open like the cheap tents used to be. I'm not gonna bother with the instructions. It's just a simple tent. Put that in the hole. Hope it doesn't pop out. And it popped out. Try to keep pressure on it this time. There we go. Now for this side. Last one. That's all it takes. Tie this up so it doesn't sag down. This ground's really hard, so I have my tent peg sticking up a little bit. I'm not sleeping in that tent, so I didn't peg it down really good. How's it going? Pretty good. The trail's a little flooded today.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's not bad. I'll be able to fit in there, but my head and my feet are going to be touching the ends. I'll come back to you with the GoPro and we'll get inside both tents. Alright, I'm back with you. I got both the tents set up now. I cut the camera for a second. Some other people showed up, came to talk. They're gonna camp nearby. But I'm gonna take you in the big tent right quick. Have a look around. See, I can stand up in here. Big tent. And all this, you can open up all this. So it's almost completely open at the top. You got vents even out here. And then you got a little sitting area outside. I got some comments about the footprint I got underneath the tent, because they discontinued the footprint for the WAWONA 6. This is a WAWONA 8 footprint, and if it was the 6, it would end at this point. But since I got the 8, it's made to perfectly fit out there, so you have some walking area and you're covered. So I think that's why they discontinued the 6, is so because the 8 made more sense for the 6. As you can see, I can stand up in here as well, but my head hits, so it's a little tighter in here. But this is a good place to sit if it's raining. You can even cook under here with a little stove like I cook coffee with. See, this extends a little bit too, so you have some room to put your stuff. Keep it dry. But there's not much to see in this tent. Just look. Those are the two tents, side by side. Get a good look. It's tiny. Pretty sure we could fit that tent inside the other tent. But I'm gonna get everything inside the tent, get it ready to sleep. Then I'm gonna come back and cook some hamburgers for supper. We got a little adventure tonight. As you know, I make ghost hunting videos too, if you didn't know that. If you're into that kind of thing, check out my ghost hunting videos, both on the IronSquatch channel. But I'm gonna cook some hamburgers with you in just a little bit. Alright, I'm back in my little outdoor kitchen here. We're gonna cook some burgers today. Actually, I bought some Wagyu burgers. It's not the real Japanese thing, kind of fake American Wagyu, but we're gonna see how they taste. Get this pan nice and hot. I'm always amazed at how hot this thing gets so fast. It's not like cooking on the campfire. It's like instantly hot. The Wagyu patty here. I try to keep it simple when I'm camping. I just bring one thing of seasoning, just get hamburger seasoning. I look for garlic, onion, and sugar. If it's got those in it, it's good. You wouldn't think sugar, but the sugar gives you a nice brown crust on your burgers and steaks, so I always make sure it's got sugar in there and it's at the top of the list of ingredients. They're always in order based by how much is in there. I had these frozen before I left home, since I was just carrying them in a cooler. They stay cold longer, but they're still a little frozen, so I'm gonna put the lid on there, kind of help thaw them out before they burn on the bottom. Normally never use a lid for my burgers, except to melt the cheese. Also keep it simple with sauces. I like mayonnaise, ketchup, lettuce, tomato, onion. I like everything on my burgers. But when I'm camping, I just get hamburger sauce. All right. It's got all the good stuff in it, and you only have to carry one thing. I do always bring cheese. I'm gonna put 2 slices of pepper jack cheese on this burger, and then put the lid back. When it's almost done, I'm gonna put the cheese on there and put the lid back on it and melt the cheese. These feel like a spatula and tongs at the same time. Good for steak, hamburgers, hot dogs, just about anything. Thawing and cooking my burgers at the same time, so that's probably not going to turn out great. Let's see. See that nice crust you get on it from the sugar? Try to get that on both sides and turn it way down. Make sure it's cooked how I like it. I like my burgers medium, maybe medium well. Sit back and let it cook. It's a very pretty day today. It's gonna be a good night too. Not even supposed to get below 60 tonight. But I haven't seen a single mosquito yet. It's about time for them to start coming out. Maybe the storms the last couple of days washed them all away. Sometimes I like to bring some bacon grease with me camping. Just put it in a little bag, throw it in the cooler. Makes everything taste better. Especially if you're gonna cook hash browns in the morning. Hash browns and eggs. Let's sit here. It's looking good. Oh yeah. That's gonna be good. I usually only flip my burgers one time, but this one's still a little frozen, so I'll give it a little more time. Let the cheese start to melt. As low as it'll go. Even on the lowest setting, this thing's pretty hot, especially with this tiny little pan. Get my burger ready. my bun rather. If your sauce has mayo in it, I always like to put it on the bottom. It'll keep your bun from getting too soggy. That'll be good. I think it'll need too much. That'll be perfect. Yeah. Turned it down too much. There we go. Just a few more seconds to melt that cheese. Perfect. I've got 6 burgers, and I will probably eat at least 4 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and get that one going. While I eat this one. Beautiful burger. It's medium. Maybe even a little mid-rare. That's delicious though. I'm gonna keep eating these burgers, and I'll come back to you when it's time to go to bed. Show you how I have everything set up in the tent. Alright, squatchies. I'm all tucked away in this little bitty tent. You can see it's tiny. And my feet. I ain't got my boots off yet, but my feet are touching the end. And my head right here at this end. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. And I've always got the big tent if I need it, but I'm gonna try to sleep in this one. It's pretty comfortable. It's just little. I'll come back to y'all in the morning. Good night, squatchies. What's going on, squatchies? So, I slept in this tiny little tent. As you can see, I kinda have to lay sideways to be able to fit. We got a lot of moisture, especially around the door. But I slept pretty good. It's a little colder than I thought it was gonna be, but it's not bad. This is a good tent for any of the times I need to hike in somewhere. You know, if I gotta hike in, I can't be carrying that big North Face tent. But this one, it's fit in the bottom of my pack real easy. Alright, well, I'm gonna get up, get some breakfast. Thanks for watching. Oh.